Thank you,
Good
Dr.
morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Oday Alchalabi from University of Mosul. Actually, I am lecturer. Sorry, my voice is clear?
Yeah,
Yes, it's
we can
clear.
hear you.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, I am a lecturer in Architecture Engineering Department, University of Mosul, and I am director for the training and technical support in the division in the Quality Assurance Department in the president of the university. I finished my PhD in University Science Malaysia about the heritage and interior design and the influences of culture on the interior design. Uh, Let me share my slides. Okay. It's appeared to.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Okay. My speech
Go
today is
ahead, doctor.
about a grounded theory about the second skin of the heritage city, which is integration between the tangible and intangible cultural heritage. Actually, my speech is about the human more than place. I believe that architecture is more related to human than engineering. So my speech will go in this topic. So the integration of the tangible and intangible element is the key to preserve the second skin of the city. So the second skin is a virtual skin that involve a local and the residents to live and attach to the place. Actually, the second skin here is about the matching between the user's needs, the physical, psychological, and emotional needs with the physical appearance of the place. So, because that the cultural heritage has important role in the contemporary development of the city, and especially for the cities that face a disaster like war and anything more. So the tangible and intangible cultural heritage element of the heritage city that have unique architectural heritage must be preserved and conserved to enhance the quality of the heritage value. The heritage value here is about the how this city or this place reflect the real story of the city after reconstruct or reviving this city. So it's need like a policy to enhance the intangible elements of the heritage culture more than the tangible. So because the city is not just a stone. If the city is just a stone, it will be like a body without soul. So the spiritual elements of the city is all about the intangible heritage, which is uh, contained many elements such as like festivals, traditions, costumes, art. Yes. Uh, without these elements, without enhancing these intangible elements, the city will be a dead city or city without people. It will or it will be shifted to another type of heritage, like many cities in the world. So it's very necessary to from the government or the government organization or NGO to help the authorities to create a policy to preserve the disappearing intangible element of the culture. So from from these photos, it's all about the old Mosul city, the heritage part of the city, which is tell the story, the real story about the city. These photos, it's part of the study, which should make a deep study about each photo to discover what is the real story of these photos. Then we can build our theory about the place, because it's all about the relation between the all communities in the city and the places is created by the culture, which that means they create their cultural space. So if any element of this cultural space is dropped, the city will be shifted, and even the native or original residents, they will feel that this is not their city, or this is another place, so they they move from the city, or if as happened in old Mosul city, they will not back to the city because they feel this is not belonging to them, because it's changed not just by the architecture, no, because maybe the people, the habits, it's changed. So because that they move to another places. So what we need, we can ask ourselves this question: what are the tangible and intangible cultural heritage component of the city that can be enhanced the quality of the life to achieve the livable city and to be a value place to live, and they can uh, match what what they have in their memory with the physical appearance of the city. So that this could be aimed to determine the tangible and intangible component of the heritage city, which is we can use it like a minimum element to create a place that can original user or the native residents can uh, feel like home, or feel the place belonging to the place. So it's very difficult a process, which is it need a deep methodology to collect and represent it to the public. So also it's to highlight it, the most important factor in the reviving of the cities. Maybe some elements is not important than another, but it's like something like when we start to design something or to draw something, so we can take the abstract element from this shape to present the original shape. So maybe this policy also can help to uh, to get the minimum value of the heritage city. Also to shadow line on the intangible and tangible elements of the cultural heritage in the city, which is a type of documentation, which is we can transfer it from generation to generations. If these, I mean that I focus on the intangible, like sometimes the stories, the says, the music, even the habits, lifestyle, all these should be documented in depth, in all details, and to be ready for any process to. We can see that there's in my speech there is four main columns that can make the city more livable and for the original residents, I mean. So we should focus first on the cultural heritage, then the cultural space, then the skin of the city, and lastly on the physical elements, which is the physical element here related to the intangible element, which is architecture or building is part from this intangible, which is tell the real story. It should tell the real story about the city, because that it is created by the culture, not the opposite. It's not a building, then the culture came or the community came and occupied. So it's create the architecture or the building. It's created by the needs of the culture in that place. So if the culture is changed or some of the element of the culture is disappear, it's normally to see another type of building or another features, architecture characteristic in the street, in the market, anywhere in the city. So there is some ideas about the heritage and cultural heritage, which is very important to put it on, in front of our face to remember every time what is the important thing about the intangible cultural heritage, which they work together to create the place where can we name it heritage place. So the heritage cities is depending on the time, also the age of the city, but also it's the intangible things. It's came by generation to generation until it's come to the real time. Uh, so maybe the culture and heritage is like a term which combine the tangible and intangible, and you know there in intangible there is a lot of elements which is in the city of Mosul, the old city in Mosul. Most of the studies that drop this intangible element, or they focus on the detail, like just to present these elements without knowing how these elements work, or what is the techniques, or what is the story about these element, which is give, if we go deep in each part, it will give us a deep guideline to restore the heritage city, more than the stones or the part of the tangible immovable elements. So that means we should have, we can when we study about the heritage or intangible, we should focus in give balance to the two systems, which is the formative system of the city and then the influence system, because the influences I mean from the culture in the building, it came gradually to the building. It's from generation to generations, and if we didn't preserve these system, it will be shifted, and after a year we will lose the original story of the city. And if some people from old generation come to the city, they will not understand what happened. This is the city or not. Some people we ask in the city, after some part of the city rebuilt it and start to work like the markets, they said there is the smell of the city is gone. We need the smell of the city, even it's not good smell. They mentioned something like this. So they don't care about the building, the type of the building, but they need our original lifestyle, the smell, as they mentioned, to be come back to the city, which is it's very difficult without deep study to the element. So also we can find three themes of studies to support our theory, which is one about the concept of culture, space, and cultural heritage, and the second topic about the identity by the physical element, then the history of development of this place. It should be also considered in the any restoration process or revival process. Framework, it's as we mentioned before, it's depend on the should be depend on two systems: the informative or formulation system and the influence system, which is all came from the culture and the cultural space in the city. So the methodology that we should work on it in this study, it's equality. We uh, we search about the quality of the heritage value. So it came not from the just documentation. Documentation is it's a part, but if we find any element or we find any object, we should make like a first step of methodology an interview. The interview is the most important part of the searching about the origin. So interview with expert or with generation from the city, like we in-depth interview, I mean, we can find many details from old man in the sitting in the street more than specialists in archaeology or cultural heritage. Also, the visual observation, for the people, for the life. We can track the people for their movement. We can find the important street and the important building in the city that make the city make for them, for the people, is a center. Therefore, it's very important to make a qualitative study, uh, including interview, which is we can do it in structured interview for the people, for the local people, and maybe non-structured or semi-structured interview with the expert, with which can we can follow the snowball strategy. They can one one user to another user, they can send us one to one until we get all information, the real information about the uh, city. So because that attract user, it's very important by their memory, by presenting like a life album for of the intangible culture. This is photos is after the liberation of the Mosul, which is most of the people that we live in the city start to came back to this city just to attend like activity or visit some
Dr.
restaurant.
Oday,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you. You have no more than 5 minutes as maximum.
Okay.
This is wasta because you graduated from USM from Malaysia. So this is
Yes.
wasta because I graduated from UM, but no more than 5 minutes.
Okay, okay, Doctor. This is the last slide. Uh, so because that we need like a policy to enhance the intangible cultural heritage more than the tangible, because I think it's the platform of the city, which is can help by also by the government or government organization or NGOs. Uh, these photos, like here in this house, it's renovated by one of NGOs organization. Uh, they do activities, the traditional activities every time in the city. And also, if you see the interior design, they use the uh, element from all the or tradition that used in Mosul, but they changed the like a color and another theme, but it's already work, and we want to find these like these the minimum elements that can help us to restore our cities. And thank you so much.